Hi, I'm Dr. Josh Matthews. Today we're going to take a look at Raiders of the Lost Ark, the opening scene, which creates the character of Indiana Jones. We're going to look at it shot for shot, and you're going to study how the character is created so that you can understand how movies are working to persuade you to believe in the characters that are now beloved by millions of people around the world. I'm going to be down in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen analyzing the footage as you watch it. Here I am in the bottom right-hand corner. Hello, here's Harrison Ford up above me. The Raiders of the Lost Ark opens with a scene that is memorable because it creates the character of Indiana Jones in just 3 minutes. Most of the complexities of Jones's character are brought up in just these 3 minutes. The entire opening of Raiders of the Lost Ark builds up to this shot right here, the revelation of Indiana Jones. We see his face in full for the first time. So I want to show you how it gets to this point, how it reveals him, and how this scene works almost shot for shot. So I'm back now at the very beginning of the movie, and I'm going to pause it occasionally to make some comments about what you're seeing and what it means. Let's start it up. Alright, so the first thing we notice here is that the Paramount logo faded in to a real mountain. We're going to be told it's in South America in 1936 in about 2 minutes in the movie. We're noticing, though, the character of Indiana Jones, and if you've never seen this movie, you wouldn't know this, by the way, walk onto the screen from off the screen, where essentially we are. I mean, he comes in off camera where the audience is. Basically, he's an audience member who walks into the movie. We see him from the backside here, and throughout this scene, this 3-minute clip, you'll see his backside, especially from the waist up, several times. Of course, the hat gives a lot away. The hat gives him a lot of character here. And he's standing over the mountain, so we have a comparison between a man and a giant mountain here, as if he's a mountain of a man. Here's a metaphor alert. Steven Spielberg's name is put on top of him as well, and you'll see Spielberg's name twice in this opening, sort of in prominent places associated with a couple of things, but one of them is Spielberg is kind of like Indiana Jones, forging new territory, unveiling mysteries of revelation. So I want you to notice the several times we'll see the backsides of this character, and when the movie emphasizes it by making it the focal point of the shot. Alright, so now we're seeing one of the men turn back to us. Why? Because he's going to become important in this little scene, even in fact in the first 5 or 10 minutes of the movie. We'll also see his minion friend do the same thing here in just a second. And there's the second man right there. So these two become important characters, basically because they've turned their faces towards us, and now we can focus on their faces. You notice I said Jones's face isn't revealed till 3 minutes into the movie. Well, these two guys are important because we see them first. And so now we're hearing jungle sounds along with the mysterious John Williams score. I want you to know where the camera is in this next minute or so of the clip. You'll see various angles of the jungle, various camera angles, the long shots, extreme long shots. Here you've got a low angle looking up at them. The trees are in between us and them, and all this fog here, there's sun coming down through, but it can't penetrate, although it does light up the scene. What happens in this opening, as you'll notice, there's several angles of the jungle here presented with long takes of these shots. In other words, these shots last 10, 15, 20 seconds long. It feels long and dragged out, and that gives you the feel that these men are going deep into the jungle. Perhaps they voyaged for several hours or even several days, who knows, but because you see multiple angles and long takes with each shot, it gives you the feeling of a deep journey into the jungle. And there's the two men there. We've seen their faces and we see them again. Back at Jones. Long shot here behind the trees. Low angle shot at the ground. Now the backside of the Minigan, there's the backside of Jones. And one of the movies being quoted here as far as jungle journeys is the 1950 Japanese movie Rashomon, which features a forest where light can't penetrate through the trees, and there's all kinds of angles, and it shows you in the opening a character going deep into a forest. It's much like this right here where they go deep into the jungle because of all the angles and the perspectives of the jungle. His face again. And now I want you to see this. This is a short action scene that precedes the main action scene that we're going to get to in about a minute into this movie, where Jones's face is revealed. This face revelation right here goes by really quickly, and it shows you the dangers, of course, of the journey into the jungle. So this is a great little scene that sets up what happens later on in the next 5 to 10 minutes in the movie. Just to show you again, you have this Sherpa or guide, presumably even a native of South America, wherever they are in South America, being freaked out by this idol. You can barely see his face. It goes by so quickly. Right now you're getting the perspective of the statue or idol he's looking at. And it's a nice revelation scene because you get that perspective, and then you cut to the statue itself, and he's freaked out by it. And then, of course, Jones comes up and takes his place where he's at, and Jones is not freaked out by it, which gives you a lot of flavor of his character and personality. Well, one more time. And you'll notice here, there's a void. The character just left the space right here in front of this sculpture, statue, whatever it is. Jones will fill that void. That's going to become important later on when we'll see that one more time happen. Jones is a brave man. Even though he's not a native to the region, he'll fill these places that even the natives won't fill. And then, of course, the perspective of these two characters who are important. We see in their faces. The movie quote here is Star Wars Episode 4, which begins with C-3PO, the tall character, and then the short character R2-D2. In Star Wars Episode 4, of course, which is 4 years before Raiders of the Lost Ark, and George Lucas is Steven Spielberg's buddy, those two robots, we see their perspective through most of the movie. Raiders of the Lost Ark is setting you up to believe that you'll see these two characters throughout the movie, the two bumbling doofuses, when in fact that's not the case. It's a big head fake, and you'll see what these characters do in just a minute, which is something nefarious. This is a nice little shot here because it gives you knowledge that it's just the three of these characters left. All the Sherpas or guides or helpers left. And they're going into the vast, mysterious recesses of this jungle. The fog is a very obvious metaphor for the unknown, places that are uncertain, and they're going right into it. I should also note that these characters are consistently traveling from left to right over the course of this journey. To go right is to go into the mysterious unknown, which is whatever they're looking for, and we'll find that out later on. To go back to the left, as that Sherpa did when he was freaked out by the sculpture, is to go back home or back to where they came from. So in other words, there's a two-dimensional geography to the entire scene here, where left is backwards, right is forwards. And here's Spielberg's name, and this little shot right here will give you some mystery that these guys are being hunted down or pursued when you have Spielberg's name on screen. The creator of intrigue or mystery here, directed by Spielberg. Watch what happens when Jones enters this scene right here. You see the two men here and their faces out of focus, and now Jones will enter into it and investigate this first, as he did with the sculpture idol earlier in this clip. Notice we don't see his face, and now we see their faces.
Poison is still fresh, 3 days. They're following us.
Notice He looks back to the left, that's this way, and Alfred Molina there, great actor. Love his voice for audiobooks, but he's looking back to the left. He's an expert on poison darts and how long poison lasts on darts. You see his face, not the other guy's face at the moment. Now, this is important because it gives the sense of danger to this scene.
If they knew we were here, they would have killed us already.
Backside of Jones again, going into the fog again. Now, this South America 1936 came on screen, so we knew where we were and when. Right before this scene right here, short scene where we reveal Jones's face. So I want to just show you how this works. This guy is trailing behind the other two. That's important for us to know because of what's going to happen in this scene. And now we're going to have an establishment shot. This shot right here shows you the geography of the scene, where Indiana Jones is and his relationship to the water and to this character, the taller of the two minions, who's going to be part of his efforts here. Watch this. What is that in his hand? We don't know, but there's his backside again in the dark. Notice all the light over here contrasting with the dark. He's a man of mystery. We don't know what he is, what he's about, what he's even looking for. The map will tell us, so it gives us some intrigue. And watch this. Nice little shot here because what is he looking for? Well, this character is telling us to think that. So we want to know what's going on here, what the mystery is. And we have an ancient map, this thing that's nearly falling apart, piece of paper nearly falling apart. Two-dimensionally, this makes sense. Look how close this character is to the map, and he's nearly seeing it. He's very intrigued by it. But think about this three-dimensionally. It actually doesn't make any sense because presumably he can't see it. He's so far away that he wouldn't be able to read what's in this map from his point of view. Nevertheless, two-dimensionally, it gives us, one, the idea that Jones is huge and Jones is huge. He's controlling everything. He's controlling the journey. And this guy's just a minion because he's so small in comparison to this right here. Notice the focus is on him though. So again, we're supposed to be like him, wondering what the heck is going on. And this right here is where the key scene starts that reveals Jones. I'm going to play this and show you how quickly this goes by. Note that the tempo accelerates. It goes from 0 to 60 in 2 seconds. I mean, we've just spent a lot of time going through the jungle very, very slowly. We've gone deep in the jungle over hours and hours. But now these men are coming to a decision point, and this character is making a decision. You're going to see the camera zoom up into his face, showing us that something's happening in his mind. And then the tempo is going to go woof really quickly. I don't know what sound effect that was. It's going to go really quickly so that it contrasts with the journey into the jungle. Watch this, and look, watch where all the cuts are. And there's a revelation. There it is. Look at this. Now I'm going to show you this shot for shot because all of these make sense, but did you see anything that happened here? I mean, a casual moviegoer may not have noticed anything, but maybe their mind, subconscious or unconscious, picked up on all of the elements of this, including all the great cause-effect work here. So let's go through it shot by shot. You have this shot first. And notice there's a low angle here first. Remember how short this character was? This angle shows us how powerful this character is now, and that he might have some control over the whole scene. He's trying to take control over what Jones is doing in Jones's enterprise. So now his eyes are going to shift around. And now, what's he thinking? This cut here gives us what he's thinking. He's pulling his gun out, and he's going to pull it on Jones. Is he going to shoot Jones? We don't know, maybe, but watch this. Cut back up to Jones. Now Jones hears the gun, which we hear as well because it's a sound effect. Notice he's all in black, and once again We see him from the backside. We don't know who he is or what he looks like, but we know that he has cat-like abilities to hear things that can't be heard given all the jungle noise. He just heard the gun cock, and he knows it's about him and not about the gun cocking at something else, say a panther or natives who are attacking them, which is funny. So he turns back to the left, which is where that character is. Now the character's back over here to the left. And there's the gun. Now that's what Jones is hearing, and this guy is menacing. And then what? Again, cat-like reflexes. And now we have a whip versus a gun. Jones is a man who can defeat men with guns, without guns, which is a great kind of character. He's like a samurai who defeats, say, a samurai who has a sword and can defeat other characters with guns. The movie, again, I'm thinking of Kurosawa again, is Yojimbo, samurai with a sword against characters with guns. Here you got a whip versus a gun, and the whip can work faster than a gun. And so you have here it is in full, and it's going to go back. Now this cut here shows you the whip going back, and you're going to feel the crack of the whip. Oh, there it was. I just missed it. It's hard to get sometimes. Let's see if I can pause it. Now look at this. The whip comes down across the screen over this guy who flinches. This shot lasts for half a second or less. But you feel the crack of that whip given this guy's flinch right here. Two-dimensionally this makes sense because two-dimensionally the whip is coming down over on top of him, but three-dimensionally it makes zero sense because the whip is nowhere near him, nor would he have the ability to flinch this quickly because he wouldn't know what's happening. But you feel the whip cracking here. And then this shot, which is wonderful because this shot right here gives us, goes back to our establishment shot. What's the whole scene look like with the waterfall and the pond? It looks like this. And now you're seeing this minion character with a gun in relationship spatially to Indiana Jones right here. You know where how they relate to each other spatially, geographically. And these two characters are obviously with each other and against this character here. Here's the whip coming over, back to the left consistently. And look, this character is freaked out. This is a reaction shot. He's backing away from the power angle. Remember, we were looking up at him. Now he's going down and he's looking puny and pathetic. And there's the gun. Why do we cut to the gun here? It's, I think, because we need to see that the gun is not available to the minion so that he can shoot Jones. He's lost the gun. It's fallen into the water, which now you can't use it anymore. So he's now going to run away or have good reason to run away. And now we cut back to him. Same shot almost as before, looking scared, but watch this. Runs away. I just missed it. He runs out of the screen, and for a brief second, you have nobody right here in the middle. Remember that power shot. He was taking up this whole shot right here, the image right here, and now he's gone. So what's Jones gonna do? Come up right into the same region that he just vacated. Now, what does that matter? Why does Jones come up into this region in this shot when the character in the previous shot just left it? It's just like that sculpture or statue moment. When the Sherpa runs away from the sculpture, he's vacating a spot in the frame, leaving it going back to the left where they all came from. He's not a part of this adventure. Well, this guy's not a part of the adventure either. He's leaving or vacating because he's wimpy or powerless. And guess who's powerful? So this is a sign of power, actually, on Jones's part. And you get a little bit of a low angle here, I think, looking up. This might be an eye-level shot right at his eyes, or a low angle looking up. Nevertheless, you see Jones in full now. Here's the revelation of his face. Who is this guy? Here he is. And nicely lit. Some of this in the light, some of this in the darkness. Jones is going to be a man of the light and of the dark. Obviously a man of mystery. And he's powerful, and he doesn't need guns because he's so quick with his hands and with his feet. This creates the character of Indiana Jones. We've just spent 3 minutes on this scene, and we know a ton about this character. I love this little sequence here because it's a perfect example of what action sequences ought to do. It gives you enough information to see how each character relates to another character. It tells you what's happening to the objects in the frame, say the gun and the whip. It tells you how to react to the scene with this character flinching. It makes you feel the psychology of the scene. It's quick, it's fast, what the heck's going on? You have no idea, you're flinching too. And it gives you an idea of which character is the most powerful of all. Let's watch it one more time, very quickly, in the right speed. How slow this is. Slow, slow. Oh, fast zoom in. Cut. 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 Cut, 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 cut. See how fast that went by? And of course the music helps amplify everything. So there he goes. He runs away, and then we have a nice little reaction shot here. As I said, the music amplifies everything. It works perfectly with the scenes. John Williams' score. So this is my little diagnosis of this scene. Please leave me a comment in the comments, because there's 1,000 things going on in this 3-minute clip from Raiders of the Lost Ark. What didn't I notice? What should we look at? What should we notice that I didn't point out? Please let us know. There's probably 1,000, 10,000 things, so I'd be happy to hear from you. So please subscribe to my channel. Please like this video and go watch my other videos and like them. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.